So let's discuss about ROI pooling here. So what ROI pooling will do is, like, let's say this is first introduced in fast RCN. So what this do is, like, let's say you have a kind of a proposal of your image, right? So let's say in a kind of a feature map, you have some proposal like this. Okay, so it is actually a three-dimensional. Like, you can also have a kind of a depth here, right? So in this kind of a depth of your feature map, you also have a depth here, so where it will is something like this. Okay, so out of this pooling layer, so what this pooling layer is supposed to mean is, like, actually, like, you have to resize your feature into a shape of what is expected to the next layers. Okay, so and what mainly, because like this is needed because like your selective search will propose, or maybe a kind of an RPN layer which you will be using in like faster RCN. So what it do is, like, the proposal sizes will be like of different shapes, maybe something like this, and one maybe like this. So these kind of shapes like may come up. So but all these, like, finally it should be of a same size, like, which is accepted by the next layers, right? So we need to do some kind of a reshaping to this. So for that, what we do is we use this ROI pooling. So what this ROI pooling will do is, so let's assume that this particular like here is like 20 by 15. Okay, let's say, and you want it to be resized to something like 7 by 7. Okay, so which is like finally accepted feature here. So maybe a shape here. So let me convert like how ROI pooling will convert this 7 by 7 like 20 by 15 shape of like feature map into a 7 by 7 feature map. So let's see that. So how it will do is, like, let's say in case we have values of 20 by 50, so it will actually make a kind of a conversion here, so making this entire 20 by 15 into kind of a 7 by 7 grid. So which means like 20 by 7, which will be uh if you see, like, if it is 3 it will be 14. Sorry, it will be 3 if it is 21, but if it is 20 it will be 2 point something, right? So what it will do is maybe make two, till 2 each, and then like 3 each, and then like something like 2 at last. So that will actually make you make maybe it'll take a smaller example here, so where something like, so even this will work. Like, what you should be doing is maybe three boxes in one row, 1, 2, and 3, and as one grid, and similarly one more, 1, 2, and 3, like second grid, like 1, 2, and 3, one more grid like this. You actually form 7 grids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last grid, like, you won't be having 3 because like you'll be having only 2 here. Okay, that is accepted, doesn't matter. So entirely, like, if you take, there will be 20, so those are divided into 7 parts, and these 7 parts, similarly, in this case, like here there are 15, right? So those 15 again, there it will be like divided by 7, which is 2.1. So you take 2 each time. So maybe 2 rows, like first 2 rows as one grid here. Similarly, one more 2 rows as second grid here. So likewise, you make a kind of a partition, and the last one will be a single. So there will be only one row in the last, because like you have an odd item here. So in this case, like, what you do is something like this. It can be done, or maybe what you can have is, like, let me talk it with a simple example where you have something like this, and you want to make which is like 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and here it is 3. Okay, so this matrix of like 3 by 5, you want to convert it into something like 2 by 2. Let's say, take this simpler example. So where what you can do is, if you divide like 5 by 2, which will be 2.5, right? So what you can do is 2.5 in one, like which you can't do. So you make 3 in one and 2 in another. So this is one and this is one more. Okay, and similarly here 3 by 2 is like 1.5, so you can't split it into 1.5, so you make 1 in one side and 2 in another side. So maybe 2 here and 1 here, so something like this. So, and what you have is this entire thing is a first box, this entire thing can be a second, this can be a third, and this can be fourth. Okay, so these four, what you can have is something like this. So let's say like this, have these numbers like this. So 1 2 3 minus 10 20, so there only minus, so 50 30 to 5 40, randomly I'm just giving few numbers. So out of these, like what we can do is this entire box, like in the first box, so take the maximum, like the maximum value over here, so will come here. So if it is a max pooling, so maximum of these values will be 50. And similarly, if you take the second case, maximum of these values will come here. So maximum of these is like 5. So you are actually consolidating uh, this into like 3 by 5 matrix into a 2 by 2 matrix. So where the maximum of this is 30 and maximum of this is like 100. So this is how actually your size of a different proposal is reshaped to a fixed size by using a ROI layer of 2 by 2. Okay, so let's move on back, move back again.